Hello, everyone. Hi, everyone. I'm so sorry for the technical issues. I don't know what is happening today. The enemies are at work, but God forbid they will not succeed. I do not know what is going on today. Hi, Bajan. Thank you so much for coming back in. Thanks to everyone that has joined the live back from the previous live. I really appreciate you guys coming in. I really don't know what has happened, but I'm glad that you guys were able to come back in. Please hit that like button for us. Hit that like button as you come in. Passion says the dang gremlins. Absolutely, because I do not know what the heck is going on today with the internet, with the Wi-Fi, with the tech. It's been choppy today. What let me confess, whilst we were trying to figure this out, I was getting so stressed. I decided to order some waffles. So now I have ordered some strawberry cheesecake waffles with ice cream because this whole network thing got me stressed out. I'm like, I'm eating waffles tonight. I don't care that it's going to be like probably like 11 p.m. by the time the waffles come, but I am going to eat that waffles with no regrets. Anyways, guys, please hit that like button as you guys come in. Please hit that like button. Okay. So I think maybe let's start with Tommy says she's now craving some waffles. Honestly, yeah, I can imagine. If you can, please go over there and get you some good waffles because yeah, I will definitely be enjoying mine. Enjoying mine. It does say that they're preparing my order right now, so we'll have to wait and see how that works out. They best not burn the waffles, please. So Tommy is saying we only have 5 likes, so please hit that like button as you guys join in. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about destiny. Word on the street is allegedly, let me bring my alleged banner up. Some of the things that have been that we've been seeing on Love and Marriage Huntsville has been concocted for storyline allegedly, and we'll get into that very soon. In the meantime, I know on the previous live we were talking about Kiana, and so I want to kind of continue quickly on that Kiana point before we move on to Destiny. So let me play this for you guys. All I ask is that you please hit that like button, and then let's get into it. Okay. What do you mean the offer has expired? Don't play with me. Hold on. Okay, no, it's a different video. Okay, sorry guys. Pageant says slurp slurp. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay. It's interesting to see the chat overlay. Let me remove the chat overlay so I have a little bit of me. All right, let's go.
I want the unedited version
Yeah.
of those.
Oh my God. Who did you not like? Who was not a good like?
So there are two people that I thought they were a bit like out, like I just didn't get them.
Oh.
Okay, because I'm a very friendly person, you know what I mean, and I'm very approachable. Kiana from Potomac.
But this is not a good list to join, Kiana. This is not a good list to join. It's like, what are we doing? Like, I understand people may not like you and stuff, but like at the same time, Han, if you were not having the kind of season that you were having, maybe we would have a little bit of empathy for you. But it's like we already see this behavior on the season. So of course, everybody's going to be riding for Ayan.
Kiana?
I think her name is Kiana.
Yeah.
Kiana.
K. I think they call it K.
Okay, yeah.
Kiana? Yes.
Face, insane. Beautiful.
Oh, she's beautiful.
Beautiful. When I say beautiful face, I kept on. The thing is, like, I kept on staring at her.
Exactly. That's the thing. We all say that Kiana is a beautiful girl. And then when you see her mom, you understand why she is so beautiful. And then when you see her, when you see the brother, you see her brother, you understand how even more beautiful she is. And so it's kind of wild. I'm just yeah, Kiana, please, why? Why can't you just be nice and sweet? Peaches and cream, especially for that face.
And like, but she was full on poker face. I think she thinks she's Beyonce or some shit. I know for sure.
Ian said, I think she thinks she is Beyonce. Oh my gosh. Mm-mm-mm. Man, Kate is just being evil everywhere. There's this one picture of her on Twitter that's going viral where her veins are almost popping out from yelling at Stacy. Girl. This is the thing, is like no one should be able to see you looking so stressed like that. It's like, why are you so stressed? You know, like it shouldn't be that deep. And so, Kiana, baby, yeah, don't be out here thinking you're Beyonce, honey. Like, your mom is fine, your brother is fine, you are a beautiful girl. It's like, but please chill on that, chill on it a little bit. So yeah, I think she just puts too much energy into her disagreement with the ladies, and it just comes across very aggressive. Like the whole point is people want you to be shady, a little bit of reads here and there. They don't want to think you're aggressive. So yeah, she needs to get it together ASAP. Tommy says, honestly, they are so fine in Kay's family. Absolutely agree. I would love to see more of them on the show because they are so fine. When I look at Kiana and then I look at her mom is so gorgeous. So gorgeous. Tommy is saying to y'all, please hit that like button, guys. Please hit that like button. Bajan says Kay and Sesame Street have come to some agreements, but not saying what the payout is. Okay. There must be some agreement because I don't understand. I do not understand why they are riding together like that. It's definitely giving there is some sort of arrangement, alliance.
Bitch, you're not fucking Beyonce. Smile back when somebody smiles.
Eee! Ian says you are not Beyonce. Smile when somebody smiles. Oh my gosh. No, no, no. Kay gives me a high school pretty girl that was a mean girl, in my opinion. I guess that would also explain why Angel and her get along, because that's also the view I have of Angel. I think Angel very much gives pretty girl who was a mean girl in high school as well. And so they're both used to being the ones running the girls. And so because they're not able to run the girls here, everybody's a little bit upset. And so that's the vibe it absolutely gives to me. And my waffles is 16 minutes away. Hey. Bajan says Kay's mama is stunning. Absolutely drop dead gorgeous. Gorgeous. Even when she was giving the side eye, she just looks so fine. Mm-mm-mm.
It's only one Beyonce. We can all agree on that.
Exactly. You know, so I don't know what's going on with her. I don't know if I know nothing about her. I haven't seen anything she's done that's iconic yet.
Ayan. Now, Ayan is giving a little bit, way too much smoke for someone just didn't smile at you. Ayan said she had never seen nothing she's done that is iconic. Now, is she wrong? No. But does that sound a little bit extra? Yes. Absolutely, yes. Tommy said we need to share your waffles. Honestly, it's usually a big piece anyway. So I would, if only I could share it with you guys, I absolutely would. I haven't ordered these waffles in like at least over 6 months, maybe even 7 months. So for me, I am so excited. I really hope like they do it right. Cause you know how when you haven't ordered something in a long time, you be thinking like, oh, it hits the spot. And then you try it and it doesn't hit the spot. I really hope it's not one of those. I hope I'm making you all jealous with my waffles. Tommy said, guys, we only have the 10 likes. Please hit that like button. Yes, there's a way more people in the live. Please hit that like button so that it matches. Hey, D. Hufford, how are you? So good to see you again. Always good to see you in the chat. Thanks for joining tonight. How are you? Tommy says, Ayan, that's a bit too much. Seems like she's joining on the hate bandwagon. Absolutely agree. I feel like, Ayan, it's okay to say, okay, yeah, she didn't smile, all of that. I understand that. But I feel like the energy Ian seems to have right now is a little too much for my liking, honey. Like, okay, dial it back. We know Kiana has not been smiling with the people, but let's not act like, okay, let's not take it too far and talk about whether or not she's been iconic. Now, do I agree that she has not been iconic? Yes. But do I think she can still be given a chance? Absolutely.
So I have no clue. So I tried, and I saw Grandam, right? Because usually I'm with Grandam in every panel in BravoCon when she was doing it with us, So I saw Grandam and she's so excited to see me. She gives me a hug. We talk, we catch up, and Kiana just stands there, doesn't even say hi. This is the second time or third time, okay?
Girl, Kiana, you're not beating these allegations, honey, because not even a hi. But Ayan, did you say hi? I'm just saying, because did you say hi, honey? If someone doesn't say hi, did you say hi and did she ignore you? Or did you expect that she has to be the one to come and kiss your, you know what?
I was like, bitch, you ain't that shit. Chill the fuck out. Drink some.
Ayan, you have so much energy. Like, Kiana really rubbed Ayan off the wrong way, rubbed her all the wrong way, honey. Because what in the world? Ayan has so much vim for Kiana. D. Hufford says, I'm well, thank you. I hope you and the chat are good. I am good, honey. I am so good. I'm waiting for the waffles and I'm going to be eating the waffles whilst I talk to y'all. Sorry, guys. Hey, OP Cam. Hello, how are you? Thanks for joining. Please hit that like button, everybody. How are you, OP Cam? Or Op Cam? Tommy is begging at this point. Guys, we only have 10 likes. Still, please hit that like button. There's literally over 20 people in here and we have 10 likes. So please, let's not be stingy with the likes. Hit that like button. It's a free way to support the channel. And if you really dislike us, please hit that dislike button. Anyone you give us, we'll take it. Damn, Ayan, isn't this too serious? Absolutely, Tommy. Like, I don't understand why she seems so offended by the fact that Kiana didn't say hi. It's like, okay, she didn't say hi. Did you say hi to her? Like, I understand the first time you said, you smiled at her, she didn't smile back. Okay, cool. Now, did you say hi and she didn't say hi back? If Ian at least told us that, then maybe I'll be feeling a little bit strong about it. But the fact that Ian seems to be having all these strong feelings for somebody just not saying hi to you or initiating conversation with you is a little bit too much, to be completely honest. And I know that's, bear in mind that I already feel that like Kiana could do with being a bit more nicer, especially if she wants to stay on Bravo, honey. You cannot rub everyone the wrong way. Grandam is not going to be able to protect you. You need to also be nicer to the people.
Drink some Pepsi.
Not a Pepsicle.
She was very friendly to me.
I'm glad Cynthia gave an alternative thing by saying she was so friendly to me. So maybe she didn't like you, Ayan, for whatever reason.
Surprised. So.
Yeah, for me, no, but maybe she's going through stuff. But that's my feelings towards it.
Who else?
Yeah. No, your feelings are totally valid.
And then this is my favorite right now.
Yeah, I know. And my second was the girl from OC, Katie.
Oh, Katie.
Katie, she's so beautiful, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I feel like she was like, I would also like try to smile to her and she was just like full on like this. Like, but she's pretty girl. But then I understand later on, because I didn't know what was going on with her. I found out like she didn't film half of the season. They like, you know what I mean? They cut her out or something like that. There was a lot of accusatory stuff. So I can now, after that, I could feel like maybe the BravoCon was very overwhelming for her.
I can imagine that. Yeah.
Especially, if you feel like they've tried to cut you off and all of that, then I can completely understand you not feeling like you're coming in to come and be chimmy and happy with everybody. So I get that. The last Potomac episode made Kay look even worse. I wonder how she's going to come back for real. Absolutely. And I'm like, hey, baby, I would have hoped that you would have changed and fixed up after a few episodes. But from episode 1 until now, you are still in the same position or even worse than you've ever been. And it's honestly so sad to see, because I was, if I can find that video of Tyra Banks talking about, we were rooting for you. Let me see if I can find it. I'm on some shenanigans tonight. We were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. Oh, I only saw a written version. Why can't y'all show me like a... We're all rooting for you. How dare you? That's honestly how I feel about Kiana. I feel like we're all rooting for you, Kiana. And for you to just come and behave the way you have behaved so far is very, very disappointing. I'm not going to lie. That's how Kay treated Wendy and Stacey. Here goes Flip Flopper Bailey. Absolutely. Absolutely. Why didn't she describe Kay's bit like she just did KD? I know. I guess she really doesn't understand why Kay. She definitely has. Given she has some beef. It's definitely given she has some beef. It's definitely given she has some beef with Kay. I don't understand, but whatever it is, Kay rubbed her the wrong way, honey. Let's see what the people are saying. Oh, okay. You see, Tommy is out here working overtime for us on this channel. So you guys, please shout out to Tommy, because she is sending me, yo, I told y'all I was on some BS today. Let me show you. This is what. So
Everybody be quiet. That's what is wrong with you. But you're not.
Like, let's see. Tyra's like, stop. I don't want to, because I also don't want to get copyrighted.
Never in my life yelled at a girl like this.
Oof. This ain't it.
When my mother yells at this, it's because she loves me.
Wow. Okay. Everybody looks traumatized. I can't lie. It's giving like Tyra traumatized the people, honey. She traumatized the people.
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you?
Dare you? Exactly that. Kay, we were all rooting for you. How dare you? Thanks, Tommy, for sending that clip. I hope they don't cause some issues with the copyright. But yeah, we're all rooting for you. That is honestly how it feels, to be so let down by the way Kay has been behaving this season. Very, very disappointing. I hope that she can redeem herself, but it's not looking good. So what I'm going to play for you guys is Kay's response to Chanel. Oh, it looks like... Okay, I think I'm... Okay, I'm just... Oh, Bajan also sent it to me. You guys are working overtime. I love it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so the delivery guy is going to be outside in a second. It says less than a minute. So what I'm going to do is, so that you guys can also still be entertained whilst I go downstairs to get the waffles, I will play... Okay, that's a knock. So let me play this for y'all and let me go get my waffles.
Yeah, real quick. So basically, I seen it today, and I'm like, wow, this is really weird. Because girl, I don't even recall seeing you 3 times. I seen you once. The one time I can recall, I was actually walking on my way to dinner with Karen, so we were in our space together, and she literally sees us walking together, and she made a clear intention to be like speak strategically just to Karen. So she's just like, oh, Karen. She spins her around in a circle and like, so mind you, we're walking together and imagine somebody separates you walking together. So I was saying like just when they engage with one person, I think that's a little bit more of a normal interaction when you see people, but she separated Karen and she's like talking to Karen and me, and I'm like, okay, obviously she miss Karen. She wants to say hey to Karen. Like, okay, girl. So, and at that point, because you made it clear to not speak to me while we were together and to separate her to speak to her, then she turns around and was like, oh, and I was like, oh, I spoke, I said, little hey, and she's like, yeah, and I went to introduce you. She's like, oh, I know who you are. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Didn't think nothing of it. It walked off. Now she on the internet talking about I'm acting like I'm Beyonce. It's like, girl, well, maybe you think I'm Beyonce because if you did, you could have just spoke like when you see me with Karen the first time. So very much weirdo energy. And furthermore, she was a host there. So I think what happens to being a gracious host, the hostess with the mostest, and she gave none of that. So that's what I have to say on that. But I guess it's trending to talk about Kiana this week. So that's what she chose to do on her podcast. But not much on that. Thank you guys.
Okay, so thank you guys for being patient. Please hit that like button. I've gotten my waffles now. Hallelujah. So I'm going to play it again so I can actually watch it with you guys.
So yeah, so that was it. It wasn't even really a discussion. It was actually kind of rude of her. And maybe I picked up on that she was being a little bit rude by only speaking to Karen. And maybe that's what she was receiving back.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think it even has to be a big thing. I'm
didn't
not
think
sure
it
if
was
I
either,
were her,
but
I would even remember that interaction. So
Girl, shut up, Payton.
it's a lot of interactions. Let's speed the tea up real quick. So basically, I seen it today, and I'm like, wow, this is really weird. Because girl, I don't even recall seeing you 3 times. I seen you once. The one time I can recall, I was actually walking on my way to dinner with Karen, so we were in our space together, and she literally sees us walking together, and she made a clear intention to be like speak strategically just to Karen. So she's just like, oh, Karen. She spins her around in a circle and like, so mind you, we're walking together and imagine somebody separates you walking together. So I was saying like just when they engage with one person, I think that's a little bit more of a normal interaction when you see people, but she separated Karen and she's like talking to Karen and me, and I'm like, okay, obviously she miss Karen. She wants to say hey to Karen. Like, okay, girl. So, and then at that point, because made it clear to not speak to me while we were together and to separate her to speak to her, then she turns around and was like, oh, and I was like, oh, I spoke, I said, little hey, and she's like, yeah, and I went to introduce you. She's like, oh, I know who you are. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Didn't think nothing of it. It walked off. Now she on the internet talking about I'm acting like I'm Beyonce. It's like, girl, well, maybe you think I'm Beyonce because if you did, you could have just spoke like when you see me with Karen the first time. So very much weirdo energy. And furthermore, she was a host there. So I think what happens to being a gracious host, the hostess with the mostest, and she gave none of that. So.
Okay. I will say this, right? I will say this. I feel like Kiana, I hear what Kiana is saying about like, oh yeah, if we're standing together and you talk to one person and you don't acknowledge the other, then of course I'm not going to interrupt you. So I get it. And I do agree that Ian was doing too much in the way in which she was speaking about it, especially if it's like because someone didn't say hi to you. It's like, what is all of that? And it's like, you lot, I just lost like what 20 people or 10 people from like just going to get my waffles. Are you guys hating them on the waffles? Tyra was definitely busting a blood vessel with that look. She was doing too much. Not the way people on Insta are carrying on. They want her off. Absolutely. That's the thing. And I'm like, you being friends with the Grand Dame is not going to save you if you don't get in good with the people, honey. Get in good with the people. You are doing too much. Tell the delivery driver to wait until the live is over. He did not wait. And when that waffle is nice and warm, I've already had one whilst we were playing the clip. I had one little bite. It was really good. Definitely worth every calorie. Not her and her bestie Angel. At this point, they have to stick together because that's the only way they're going to come back on the show. Because ain't nobody wants them at all. And I feel like if they don't stick together, they will definitely scrap them. And if they stick together, maybe they have a better chance of at least staying, bringing them back on the show. But yeah, they're so annoying, honestly. Just mention Keish because she's the topic at the moment. Yeah, I think it's definitely given that, to be honest, because I understand you feeling like, oh, okay, maybe Kay wasn't nice, but to keep drilling into her, talking about she didn't say hello, she wasn't nice, she didn't smile, that she's this, she's that, she's that. It just felt like it was too much on Iron's part for something as trivial as someone just not smiling. So that's where Iron lost me. Hair filter and forehead need to be shown the door. Absolutely. Now, hear this thing that Angel is going to say, and I could not be more surprised about the delusion.
That's what I have to say on that. But I guess it's trending to talk about Kiana this week. So that's what she chose to do on her podcast. But not too much on that. Thank you guys. So yeah, so that was it. It wasn't even really a discussion. It was actually kind of rude of her. And maybe I picked up on that she was being a little bit rude by only speaking to Karen. And maybe that's what she was receiving back.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think it even has to be a big thing.
Not Angel saying she doesn't think it has to be a big thing. Didn't you make it a big thing that Wendy didn't say hello to you at the airport? Even though you could have used your mouth to say hello back or say hello at all? This is the person thinking it's not going to be a big thing. Girl, bye.
I'm not sure if I were her, I would even remember that interaction.
Did you hear her? She said she's not even sure if she was the one she would remember that interaction. Let's be clear. Angel remembers everything the way she wants to remember it. It's the same way she feels. Think about it. She felt like, oh, Wendy was the one that said the catfish comment, even though Wendy didn't. She hears what she wants to hear. So now you're out here telling us you're not going to remember it? We don't believe you. You're going to remember it how you want to remember it. Hey, Super, how are you? I hope you had a wonderful day. Thanks for joining.
So
it's a lot of interactions. Let's speed the tea up real quick. So basically, I seen it today, and I'm like, wow, this.
Kay don't need to worry about it. I'm sure this will be Kay's last BravoCon. Oh, I even thought this person was on Kay's side. No, the person be like, this will be her last BravoCon. Oh my gosh. I believe I am. I used to like Kay, but her attitude is definitely different from first season. Exactly. And this is what I need her to fix. People are not liking her this season at all. I was there, and what Kay is saying is true. Chanel is strange. Oh, okay. I love the balance in the comments. Someone said, I think two things can be true, and baby Angel, you should be the last one to talk. Clock it. Clock it. Absolutely agree with that. Yeah, but what do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. Kay is too much. She's just getting back the energy she gives. The way she treated Stacy this past Sunday, now that was too much. I completely agree with you. I feel like Kay has been doing too much since the first episode landed. First episode this season, she's just been doing too much. And then Angel also has been doing too much with her. And so it's like they don't even balance each other out. It's almost like they're the, I don't even want to say this because it sounds mean, but they're minions from hell. Like it's like both of them, one person isn't even acting like an angel, which is hilarious because Angel is actually one of their names. But it's like, think about it. It's like normally in a friendship, you see one is a little bit mad, the other is nicer. This one, both are not. And so it's hard to even be like, okay, let me like one of them. You're both a bit cuckoo for Cocoa Pops. So yeah, absolutely not. Let's see. I think Tommy sent me something.
I have a husband, whoop-de-doo. I asked you what team I was. We were done with it. We went, okay, girls, this was going nowhere fast. We moved on. We moved around, and we're still at the party. Greg comes at the party, so that takes things like to a whole nother level because now my man is here. I'm refocused. Angel is actually now in this, verbal spat between her and Wendy. Me, Giselle, and Ashley are actually on the side of this verbal spat. And I said, you know what? This is her chat. I'm not even going to get into that because Angel needs to have this conversation however it needs to happen. So I'm actually on the sidelines at the bar. We're getting shots, and I'm like watching it because I'm standing where I can watch her. And I see the thing is getting all head bobby. It's getting all crazy. It's people screaming out other crazy things. And I was like, I don't really like the way this chat is going. And they're like, no, okay, like this is Angel's thing. And I was like, yeah, but I don't really like how it's going. So I come over to
when
the
everybody
chat.
else, when their friend is in a verbal spat, they can come over and
They can come over and get
be
in the chat.
lawyers.
Ooh,
Mouthpieces.
Ooh, the mouthpiece. So I say, okay. So finally I was like, I don't really like the way that this is going. Let me go over here and kind of like in the chat. So at this point, you and Wendy are still having this exchange. And I'm like, hey, Wendy, at this point, because my job, me and Wendy, like, have these, like, makeup and breakups that you guys are not seeing either. So I'm, like, tapping Wendy on her shoulder. And I'm like, babe, yeah, like, that's, like, what's happening here, whatever. So I told Angel's, like, at her peace with it. She's still, Wendy's having her moment. So I'm like, Angel.
It's definitely she's giving us an alternative story that we've not heard before. But guys, please hit that like button as you listen to this. Tommy says Kay was unnecessarily mean to Stacy over an issue that doesn't even relate to you. Monique could care less about that dry ass storyline. Absolutely. Monique paid them dust. I think they expected Monique to get upset at Stacy. They were trying to set Monique up, but Monique did not play into any of their hands. And I will say, I love the way Monique is being so smart about how she's navigating things. She's not letting them push her into performing for a storyline.
Exits the chat after this, right? So as Angel exits the chat, me and Wendy are still conversing about like, what's the deal here? Yeah, out of nowhere, Stacey runs into the scene. And she's like, yeah, like Kiana's trying to do with me. And I'm like, okay. Like,
do you guys really believe that Stacey ran into the place and was like, oh, like Kiana is trying to do with me? This is why I feel like Kiana receives things a little more aggressive than they actually are, right? So have you ever heard somebody when they tell their side of the story and they're like, oh, this person was shaking this, and you're like, that didn't even happen. That's what it's given to me.
Okay. So I'm still talking to Wendy because I'm like, I'm not really talking to her because I don't know why she's talking to me anymore because all the chat that we had today has going nowhere fast. So she's in my face. Mind you, she's in my face.
Girl, I don't know if you guys saw one of the comments. Somebody said the deflection twins. Whoever it is that said that on their live needs to be in timeout. I am loving it. Oh, this is when Stacy called Kate and Angel the Siamese twins. Man, the last episode was hilarious. It was. Monique ain't that smart. She's listening to Forehead the Bone Carrier. Yep. Absolutely. D. Hufford says, I don't believe it. Honestly, I don't either. It's given you're telling a completely different story that none of us have seen. Now, I understand the edit, but it's like, it's a little bit too convenient, honey.
So, like, which would be considered for me, if I wasn't me, I'd be like, okay, this is getting a bit aggressive. But I'm like, okay, now, girl, because, like, do you want my attention? Because I'm actually talking to Wendy. I'm not talking to you. So she did it again. She's case trying. And so I'm like, girl, you have nothing going on for me to want to have any kind of thing with you. Like, I just think you're lying. That's it. So from there, it turns into her saying something else and pointing her finger in my face.
Okay.
Okay, now that's at this point, this is crazy because now you got my attention. And in this moment, I don't back down. I'm just looking at her like she is absolutely out of her mind. You are out of your mind pointing your ring finger in my face. So at this point, I mean, I could totally say that was aggressive behavior because
But here's the thing, Kay. Kay has a very, I don't want to say aggressive disposition. She has a very rah-rah energy towards her. Right? She has a very rah-rah energy thing that she has going on. And so with that, it comes across as aggressive. However, with someone like Stacy, even if Stacy does things like putting the hand in the face and all of that, people are likely to overlook that because Stacy comes across as a sweet, innocent girly. And so I feel like there's something Kay needs to learn about that.
Because why would you do something like that? Why, first of all, why are you back over here? You're back inserting this. If we left it here, it was like you took a extra little shot and said, "Let me go Rambo and get back ready with Kate."
It didn't have to go like that.
And it was strange, and I'm like, what is happening? So when the people are saying that I'm aggressive and I'm the aggressive person, no, ma'am. Okay. Yes, they are. It's a very old storyline. Kay is aggressive. It's always the girl that's being direct that gets the aggressive cut. But it's so crazy because, to be honest, a lot of times, y'all, I really don't even say all the thoughts that are even on my mind because I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna leave this kind of where it's at because I don't want this more left in this. I just kind of want to speak my piece and go. But that's not really what the ladies do.
Did this girl just say she doesn't say everything that is on her mind? Imagine she did. We would be definitely calling her aggressive if she actually said everything that is on her mind. Kate is an around the way girl. Yep, absolutely. That's the vibe she gives. It's like, girl, calm down. Like, take it down a few notches, please. Super says Angel, K, and Stacy can go. I understand Kay and Angel. Why don't you like Stacy? For me, I don't like the lies, to be honest. But yeah, Angel and Kay can go. I'm still okay to give Stacy another season. Grizel was disgusting towards Stacy when she said she shouldn't be around husbands and children. I was like, yeah, that was extreme. Like husbands and children? Like when it's not like she's a PDF file. Like especially that children comment is the one that I found a bit extremely weird. Extremely weird to me. Grizel, you got cuss out from Monique, Wendy, and Candice for lying on their husbands. Exactly. So that's definitely the pot calling the kettle black. Tommy says Kay is very aggressive. She needs to accept that and work on herself. Absolutely. Her disposition just comes across as aggressive. It just gives that energy. Super is right. Super says Kay is a hood chick. And I'm actually inclined to agree. She's just a pretty girl. And so we don't expect her to be hood. But the way she comes across that aggression is definitely giving a little hood. So yeah, it's definitely given she's a little hood. And yeah, that's what comes across. Because if you're saying to us that you're not saying everything that is on your mind, but you are saying, but you said and done all of these things on the show, then nobody is safe, honey. Nobody is safe. So let us know for the people in the chat. I know Super has already said Angel, K, and Stacy can go. What do you guys think? Would you guys want Angel, K, and Stacy to go? Or who would you guys vote to leave Real Housewives of Potomac next season? Put it in the chat. Stacy lies about herself, not on others like Jeezy. She's smart not to bring her husband around. Absolutely. Besides, her husband always looks disinterested anyway. You can tell the husband is not really here for the show, could care less about the show. That's the vibe I get. So he's just there like, oh, all right, I'm going to do this to support you, but I am not going to be involved, actively involved anyway. That's the vibe I get from her husband. Now, guys, please hit that like button as you guys come in. Please hit that like button. I'm trying to double check what other Potomac news I have before we talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville. Okay, because once we get into Love and Marriage Huntsville, then we can talk about some other bits. Let me just go into the Bravo Shade Room real quick. Let's just see if there's anything new in the world of Potomac. No, nothing new. Okay. All right. On that note, let us move. Oh my god. There is an update about Wendy, allegedly. Wendy and her husband. Apparently, Wigo podcast says, well, they filed to now have their cases tried together again. Judge has granted it. They will no longer be tried separate and are back to being co-defendants back in court December 19th. Oh my gosh. I don't know how that's going to work for them. Look at both of them, Wendy and Eddie. Wow. Wendy still looks like she's pulling the looks. She's still pulling the looks. Oh my god. Don't even know what to say. Okay, so no, Stacy's owning everyone. Angel, Ash, and Kay need to go. Yeah, fair enough. Super says, Angel, Stacy doesn't have me fooled, and I don't like her unnecessary lies. She's just as easily tell someone to mind their business instead of stupid lies. That's how I feel, to be honest. But I like the lightheartedness she brings to the show as well. K Filter, Forehead, Griselle, Champagne Charlie, Temu Aretha Franklin. Imagine if all of these people leave, there will be no one on the show. Super says Karen Hugo is very quick to tell them to mind their own business instead of lying. Yep, I'm with you on that one. I would just be like, mind your business. I do not have to tell you anything. I do not, yeah. But I'm not really with the lies, to be honest. I don't like lies in general. So yeah. I'm with you, Super. Okay. I guess we'll wait and see what happens on the 19th. It's going to be interesting. Honestly, I wish them the best. D. Hufford says, I don't care what Wendy and Eddie did. Let them pay a fine and move on. I hope so, but it's really not looking good. It really is not looking good. So I hope that they can get it together. Bajan says, sure, they can find new housewives. I don't know. They might have to go raid Love and Hip Hop again to get more housewives. At this rate.
Kay was trying to do the most.
She was.
Just trying to do the most because he was stuck. First of all, Tia, you don't know how these girls get down. You saying that could mean that if I'm down, you could hook me up. And you're still getting to know this group, and that kind of banter in this group could later mean that, somebody brings up something that's just not true as to who I am and who my character is.
You caught Stacy out of one of your weddings.
Okay, Jazzy. Jazzy is definitely lining up to be a main cast. You can tell that Jazzy is definitely trying to be full-time. And the way things are, she probably will be soon enough. That is the vibe she is given. She's given, they better sign me so I can bring them some drama, honey. Jazzy is ready. Although, I feel like I just hope she's not going to be another Shamia, because Kay is pretty much giving us Shamia vibes. Because it's like everyone was really rooting for her and then she just became a total letdown. Karen is a big liar. I love her though. Yeah, I do not even know because I haven't watched the earlier seasons. I only think I've seen things about like the blue-eyed person she was alleged to have been messing around with. but we'll have to see. Why was ill-fitting wig Charisse on there? This is the question. It's like that wig, that wig gotta go. I will say that wig gotta go. Tommy says, I love Jazzy. I need a trio from Wendy, Stacey, and Jazzy. I do think that they will definitely bounce off each other quite well. I personally think Jazzy is performative, and Jazzy will either be a hit or miss. Because see how she piped up on Tia for no reason. If she's already doing that, she's already showing you that she may come up and be another K. That's the vibe I get. D. Hufford says, unfortunately, Jazzy is fronting too. They don't have the money or the lifestyle, and her husband had 2 kids on her, allegedly. Because I think she tried to argue that it wasn't 2 kids. So whatever the case may be. But I do agree with you, especially because I feel like she invited the girls over to her house this time around, and the house wasn't like massive or anything. So it's definitely not given. It's given comfortable, but it's not necessarily given like wag. I think the person that is really given wag is Angel, although we don't really know what's going to be happening to the alleged foreclosure if Wendy is telling the truth. Karen said she wasn't guilty of the DUI she went to jail for. She had 4. Oh yeah. Yeah. That was just horrendous. And the point for me was like, why lie? Why lie? Like, I understand choosing not to say anything, but why lie? Tommy says, unpopular opinion, I don't like Tia anymore. She joined Giselle to mock Stacey, and that's weird. Being that you just joined is giving ass kissing to me. Tommy, to be honest, it's not an unpopular opinion, because I've noticed a lot of people no longer like Tia now and feel like Tia is now on the Giselle train and ganging up on Stacey train. I personally can see how it comes across as that. But I think for me, I'm going to give Tia another season and see how Tia gets on next season. Because I think at the end of the day, Tia also knows she came on the show through Giselle. And I think she's trying not to also go directly against Giselle. So I'll have to see how she like gets into her own next season. D. Hufford says he has 2 kids. Yep, it probably does. But she tried to say like, oh, he didn't have those kids on her as such, like they were on a break or something like that. I can't remember the whole thing. I'm sure in this new interview she'll probably go into more detail on it if he decides to ask her. Charisse was vindicated as far as Karen's drinking. Absolutely, she was. She definitely was vindicated. I will say that, yes. Because I think the whole thing about Karen's drinking has been a well-known secret. Like it felt like everyone already knew. Everyone knew that that's what Karen was on, but no one really said anything. Everybody was just like minding their business, so to speak. So yeah. And every time they tried to say Karen was not having it, and Karen was constantly lying about it. So yeah, I definitely think that that's that. D. Hufford says Tia is an op. Honestly, I can get that because I feel like in some of the confessionals, it's definitely giving you have so much energy for Stacey, but at the same time, I'm giving her a benefit of the doubt because it looks like initially she was trying to get to know Stacey. And then the whole thing with Stacey and her happened, and then we also don't know if there's other things that have happened that they did not show us, because that also happens as well. Just like Creator Face, didn't she come on the show as a friend of Karen's and then jump ship to Griselle? Exactly. That's the thing. It's like when you come on the show with somebody and you immediately jump ship, people are going to drag you. And so I feel like yeah, that's where that comes to play. Super says, I'm not a fan of housewives fronting. I'm not as well, because I feel like it ends up in them getting in some crazy situation where they're doing so much craziness for money just because they want to front. So it's like, I'd rather you live your modest life. If this is the life that you live normally, then that's fine. Just live that life. Don't be out here pretending to be something you are not. That is something that I would say. Which came first, Jazzy or the baby mama? Well, she basically said that, I think she said she was pregnant. So the baby mama was pregnant and he didn't tell her or something like that. Honestly, her story doesn't add up. I feel like there's something she's not telling us about that. But I guess she feels like she's won the prize now because she's married. So we'll have to see how that pans out for her. Hopefully it works out for her. Forehead was shady when they were all out and she gave Karen Uber vouchers. Absolutely, she definitely was being shady. She definitely was being shady. Because imagine someone is out and you're like, oh, I got you some Uber vouchers. Like, girl, please. Of course, you knew that was not going to go down well. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like this season of Potomac has been okay, but then I don't like this last episode, or I didn't like this last episode, because I kind of just felt like it was definitely given like a Stacy versus the girls, or Kiana and Angel versus Stacy, and I really didn't like that. It just felt very weird. And so for me, yeah, I don't like that at all. Okay. Let me stop sharing my screen. And let's talk about the Love and Marriage Huntsville folk. Okay. So let me just make sure my alleged banner is under there. It is there. Okay. Perfect. Because what I'm about to say is definitely alleged. But before that, let me just read Supra's last comment on this topic. I like Tia. I think Stacey used her, but Timo didn't want to play along. Yep, definitely. I like Tia as well. So for now, I'm definitely giving Tia the benefit of the doubt, at least until further notice. Okay. All right. So guys, please hit that like button as you come in. Just hit that like button or that dislike button, whichever one you prefer. They both do the same job. Okay, so let's talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville. Now, shout out to On the Rocks with Jada, because that is where this tea is from. That is where the tea is from, honey. The tea runneth over. So in her recent video, she basically said that she allegedly spoke to somebody that is close to Lance. Now, Lance is the Nell's son, Nell and Chris Fletcher's son. And he confirmed basically that the storyline that he has going on with Destiny is allegedly fake. Apparently, they never touched each other before. I think we figured that out personally. The never stepping or touching each other like that before. Because I feel like if they had, that would have come out on the show. And so I'm not surprised. I feel like it definitely did not come out on the show. So that's I feel like, sorry, I got a bit distracted. So I feel like it's definitely given storyline. It's given, I'm setting this up because I need a storyline, allegedly. Okay. And then I feel like that would also explain allegedly why it feels like Destiny is hanging out with Will on Love and Marriage Huntsville. It's like, okay, has it now become a thing where is Huntsville that small that you have to only date within the circle? Or is this for storyline purposes? That's the question I have, right? And you know how we saw this new girl that came on the show recently? Apparently that is fake too. Tommy says, are we surprised? Nope. We are not surprised. Absolutely not surprised. I think that I'm honestly really not surprised because it feels like Love and Marriage Huntsville, there's always just something. And every time something comes out, you realize like it's given, everything is just being orchestrated, everything is planned. It's like people are just being so performative. It's like, okay, if I show up doing this, then maybe I'll get this, maybe this, maybe that. That is the vibe that comes across a whole lot. And so I will not be surprised if Lance and Destiny were like, okay, what are we going to do on the new season? Should we like just say that we're dating? Like, these are some of the things that I'm thinking about, right? Because it's just a little bit like, you know, is it worth just doing that just to get a check? Low-key, I'm like, how much do they pay these people? It was just something that was on my mind. I would love to know how much they pay the people. Because it's like, is it really worth that much to be out here concocting storylines? Super says, I never believed the Lance and Destiny thing. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's always felt very, like, when you try to figure out are they dating or not or whatever, it was very, it's like they couldn't even get their story right. Like, are you dating? Are you not dating? Are you together? So you're not together, you're just dating. It's like, what are we doing? And even at the reunion, it felt like Destiny trivialized or minimized their relationship. And then you could tell that maybe Lance felt like things were different, like, or she shouldn't have said that. It's like, I don't even understand what was going on between the both of them. But it feels like maybe they needed to have fully agreed on where they were going to go, what they were going to say. Because in my opinion, if you're concocting a storyline together, you need to make sure you discuss the facts. Like, this is what I will be saying. This is what my focus would be. This is where you come in. It's like you can't generally loosely agree on stuff and not agree on the minor details, the little details that will catch you guys out, allegedly. It's very weird to me. D. Hufford says Destiny is a honey hopper, not a honey hopper. Oh, Destiny likes to hop, allegedly. Bajan says time for Huntsville to be gone. Yeah. Because honestly, I remember the last episode that I watched. I can't even say what, like, now that I think about it, like, what was so interesting about what I watched, I can't tell you. I've completely forgotten it. It's like it never existed. It's way far out of my mind. And that's the thing, because it's not bringing anything special anymore. And so I'm not surprised at all. Bajan says Destiny is a pass around. Yeah, the thing is, she's definitely liked a few people on the show. She may not even be a pass around, but because of the way she's moved on the show, maybe that's why it looks like she's a pass around, right? Like, if for instance you showed interest in Nelson, then Lance, then now Will, then it's like, what is going on? Right? So it just looks like you're stepping from man to man to man. But I do also agree with something Destiny said, which is like, just because I'm dating a man or dating people doesn't mean I'm sleeping with them. And I think sometimes you can actually be dating a bunch of people, getting to know people, nothing official yet. And you may not be sleeping with any of them or even kissing any of them, right? You're just going on dates, getting to know if you guys are a good fit. Sorry, I was drinking water. Just trying to figure out whether you guys are a good fit, right? And so, but I think it never looks good if you're dating within the same circle. I think that's why it looks like a pass around situation. If it's still in the same circle, it just feels and looks weird, like you're jumping from person to person. I wish that she would just go out there and find you a man that has no affiliations with Love and Marriage Huntsville, that has no affiliations with anybody on Love and Marriage Huntsville, and that is prepared to actively date you. Not Moses, who did not want to claim you, right? And so I feel like one of her criteria to even bring people on the show should be like, you've already seen their commitment towards you. Speaking of Moses, we haven't heard anything about Moses recently. I hope he is okay. He and Sunny, I hope they are okay. Bajan says earlier season she was sniffing around Kimmy's son. Think Kimmy nipped it in the bud. Yep, I don't blame Kimmy for that. I actually feel like Neil probably wishes she had nipped it in the bud when the whole thing first started between Neil and not Neil, between Lance and Destiny. Neil probably was hoping that she could have nipped that in the bud. Because imagine she had nipped it in the bud, then it would not have escalated. They'd have probably not ended up dating. Um, and I say dating in quotation marks because we don't know what the truth is. Lance didn't need a storyline, Destiny did. The Fletcher family dynamic is interesting enough. That's a very interesting perspective, and you're right. Within their family, there is always so much drama. So you're right. They definitely do not need a storyline. They could literally just have one of their dinners, and that would be enough storyline for the season. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. Shanice says that's exactly why it looks like a pass around because she's entertained men within the circle. You mean to tell me she couldn't find a man within an hour length of House of Huntsville to entertain? Absolutely agree with you. That's the thing. I'm like, she has to also understand that she is the one creating that narrative by dating within her circle constantly. It looks very, very odd when everybody is in the circle. It would be nice for us to hear that you're dating some man out of town that no one knows and he's crazy about you, and then you can bring on the show. Like, that would be nice for a change. Not somebody's son, not somebody's god brother, somebody's godchild. It's like it's too close for comfort. Absolutely too close for comfort. And sometimes that's why they tell you, like, you don't even have to date in your city. Go somewhere else to date, because it's like sometimes what if you you don't want to date all the men in your city, or you dated a good chunk of men in your city and you don't want to keep jumping from man to man in your city. It's like, explore a different city and see what else is out there for you. So yeah, definitely think I'm definitely with Shanice. Shanice hit the nail on the head. Yes, Bashan, I completely agree. She hit the nail on the head with that. Okay, so we do have some Married to Medicine tea that we're going to talk about. I am good. Sorry. I am guessing definitely very sleepy, which is so weird because you would think the waffles, because of the sugar, will wake me up. Instead, I'm like looking like I want to sleep. But I think we can still get maybe some Married to Medicine in there, just a few little bits. If I'm not mistaken, Married to Medicine are a bit iffy with their clips, so I have to definitely be pausing it actively. Okay. That is so funny. She said, wow. Oh, let me share my screen. Sorry, guys. Not Heavenly trying to school her. I'm talking about, do you know what a state representative does? That's so funny. But before that, let me just quickly read Shanice's statement. Shanice says, in the Black community, God siblings are as good as blood siblings. Same thing with play relatives. It's just too close for comfort. Completely agree. And yeah, completely agree. I'm definitely with you on that. There's no need for all of that. But I guess she wanted to have those googly eyes. To be honest, I can understand. The man is fine, but still. Married to Medicine is a show I no longer watch. The ladies have jumped the shack with their toxicity, especially Evelyn. Absolutely. Absolutely. Speaking of brother, I'm going to tell you all a quick thing. There was one guy I was talking to, we're dating, like, of course, not in a relationship as such, but we were dating and going on dates and stuff. Then I found out he had a fine brother. His brother was so good looking. Like, when I say his brother was fine, his brother was fine. Just like the guy that Destiny was doing googly eyes at, right? Despite that, I was like, okay, nah, you've already gone on a few dates with this guy. Don't even think of jumping ship. But that's what Destiny should be thinking about. Like, even if you don't want to be with Lance, like, it just, optics don't look good. You know, if you guys truly dated in some way, who knows? Did you guys kiss? Did you do anything inappropriate? Like, to then jump from that to the God brother is a little bit much for me. I fear that Toya may have eaten this one. Because what? Normally, Heavenly is able to really stand on ish, but this time around it's a no.
That's horrible to say because it's no, because you can't even hear the people. Please understand. I'm running for state representative, and
You can't even hear the people getting in her face, and you want to be state representative. What are you doing? That is too much. Super said she's sticking by her decision not to watch Married to Medicine. To be honest, I completely agree because it's like, why so much toxicity? I know the first episode is out. I haven't even watched it myself. I am going to watch it because I have to watch it so I can know what's happened, so I can talk about it over here. But still, it's like, why are you getting in her face now? She's allowed to not want to vote for you. And I don't blame her. I wouldn't vote for you either. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Toya is on some demon time this time around, but I'm with her 100%.
You have done nothing but talk about me and mine. So welcome and enjoy what it feels like. Please understand that African American.
She said, enjoy what it feels like. Toya cleared. That's with Toya. Toya, I'm with you, dear. I am with you, dear. I am with you, dear.
For the last 10 years, you have done nothing but talk about me and mine. So welcome and enjoy what it feels like. Please understand.
She said, enjoy what it feels like. Okay. Toya. Yep. I'm 100% with Toya. I agree with Toya 1,000%. America has enough ignorant politicians. Absolutely. And if people start taking the emotions out of voting and thinking about whether or not this person would be a good candidate before you vote for them, just because you like somebody, even just because you like somebody or Married to Medicine, does not mean that they will be a good candidate. Excuse me. Does not mean they will be a good candidate. So if you decide to waste your vote for somebody who you're not sure would be a good candidate, then that's on you. So I am definitely with Toya. Absolutely with Toya. Bajan says, never watch Married to Medicine, but all I know, they could never be my doctor. Don't get me wrong. I can curse with the best of them, but boy, their mouths are the deepest depth of the gutter. Absolutely. You know, initially when I thought about Married to Medicine. I thought it was going to be such a fabulous show. You know, it's going to be like people in high society, the way people would be talking would be all like eloquent and, you know, full of great etiquette. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. D says, get her, Toya. Absolutely. And I'm loving that someone is getting Heavenly, because Heavenly has been a tyrant on this show for a long, long time. Heavenly has been a tyrant. Heavenly has shown them all sorts of craziness. Heavenly has been mean to all of them at different times on the show. And so I love that someone else is repaying it, because it feels like Heavenly got away with it. To be honest, because no one has actually been able to match Heavenly with the energy. So Toya was like, nah, this season I'm getting you. And I appreciate that. Badger says, I'm going to try and watch Bell Collectives during the Christmas holidays from season 1. That might be a good watch. Toya says, I agree with Toya says I agree with Toya. Super says I agree with Toya here. Yep, completely agree with Toya. I fear that I may be agreeing actively with Toya this season. Let's see what the comments are saying. I wouldn't vote for Heavenly either. When Toya is right, she is right. Toya cleared, I'm sorry. And production is super messy with the flashbacks because she's right. Heavenly goes low as hell. And she's right. She can't maintain healthy relationships in the friend group. She is too temperamental. Reality TV versus real life. It's not a game. We don't need more folks in seats, but people who will get the job done. It's not a slight to her. I just never cared for how she carries herself on the show, in my opinion. I completely agree with this person. From day one, with the way people were always giving Heavenly a pass and having a soft spot for Heavenly, I've never, ever had that. Never, ever had that for Heavenly. I always thought she was out of order, and people just let her get away with everything because she is Heavenly. One thing about Toya, she gonna say what everyone else is scared to say. I agree with this. That's one of the reasons I like Toya. Because everybody will be quiet, wondering and thinking the same thing. Toya would be the only person to say it. And nobody will step in to be like, oh, you know, I agree with Toya. Everyone will just let Toya run with it and let Toya handle it. That's something I've definitely noticed. Toya be waiting for this moment. I'm so happy that she got to see it come. One thing about the tables, they do turn. Yep. Toya was definitely waiting for the moment, because Heavenly has dragged Toya time and time and time again. And now Toya is like, now your son has been arrested, I will be dragging you. Her and Dr. Jackie had just had a controversy for saying Black women lie about their pain during childbirth, but you want to represent us. No, thank you. Absolutely. The state representative won't be you. I know that definitely was funny to me. Patreon Raindrops, buckle up, cause Heavenly is going to recap episode 2, cause baby, the scene right here. Why should it be Heavenly instead of Toya? Okay. Someone said, can't blame editing for your own display of significant character flaws. Heavenly might as well join Zeus Network because her behavior aligns with the behavior displayed by the unhinged generation there. Ooh, that is true. That is absolutely true. And I feel like if you think about it, with the way Heavenly has behaved significantly unhinged. Significantly unhinged on the show. Absolutely unhinged. And so I'm really not surprised that it's now catching up with her. Everyone is responding and out here with Toya. Everyone is gagging with Toya. I don't like Toya's attitude or the vibe from these comments. Black voices are needed. There's always going to be a pick me. Heavenly has the platform, the degree. She doesn't have to be politically correct all the time. Look at our White House. But look at where that has gotten y'all. I love how Toya is scared of her. She's just saying what everyone else is thinking. Imagine running to be state president and someone tells you why they don't think you are fit for the run. Your response is to stand up and get in their face. I know. That's what I was thinking. It was like, Heavenly, that was your one time to take the opportunity to educate Toya and let her know that you have changed. But instead, you got out, stood in her face, and did the same thing you always do. So, yes, she's gotten you right where she wants you. I love Toya on the show. She's the force multiplier. She pushes the story forward and holds everyone accountable. And she ain't scared of no damn body. Absolutely. I love seeing Toya get her lick back. Yes, nobody needs to define a representative. Just know it ain't you. Oh, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That ate. Like, I'm not gonna lie. That ate. After I get off this life, I'm gonna watch it again because that ate. Mm-mm-mm. Toya definitely came in hot. Mm-mm. And I was here for it. Bajan says, so when Phaedra was on there, when she was left with her comments director at Heavenly of the whole cast, I think she directed it at the whole cast, didn't she? She called them a bunch of mean girls. Shanice says a reputation on reality TV is a very hard thing to undo once you get into politics. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like you spend years trying to disassociate yourself from that image and that reputation for it to be successful. But the problem is she was also on YouTube doing the most as well. And then all of a sudden you then say you want to run. It's not giving what she thinks it's giving. Toya has to make up for the fans she lost by turning her back on T last season. Yeah, I think you may be onto something now. She's like, let me get back on track. Let me give the people what they want. And this season, she's definitely clocked in. D says Heavenly calls Toya a stupid, lazy bee every season. Absolutely. And if we're being honest, what has Toya done to deserve that kind of name calling on a regular basis? Absolutely nothing. So I'm not even mad at Toya really giving her this season. I think someone needs to give her a taste of her own medicine so that hopefully she can learn to do things better, do things a lot differently next time. So we'll do one more Married to Medicine, then we'll talk about the Kandi and Todd, because I definitely feel like we need to talk about Kandi and Todd, honey. The tea runneth over. Let's just say that. Okay, that is odd. Let me see. I need to share my screen. I just need to make sure I'm sharing the right screen. Where is the screen? This is the problem. I be having so many tabs on. All right, let me share this tab.
Dr. G to stay on the show. Does it presumably need a man to stay with him to have a lifestyle?
I'm gonna say this, and you know what? I'm gonna say the truth. This is my truth. Simone is a hater, all the way around. Simone is a hater. Jealous, a word I would not use for Simone because I think she lives the life and she can afford to do whatever she wants to. But hater, yes. Simone is a bona fide hater. Always has been. Anybody?
Eesh. What is a bona fide hater? That's what I'm trying to understand.
You think they got a better job or a nicer home or more businesses or whatever, Simone looks their stuff up, tries to discredit them, and
those are strong allegations, Heavenly. Those are strong allegations, Miss Heavenly.
She's a hater. She's a hater. I will say that, and I don't dislike Simone. To this season, she wasn't my favorite this season, but Simone's a hater, point blank, period. I'm gonna just tell you that.
She looks
Not Carlos being gagged.
some stuff.
Keep watching, baby. Keep watching. I ain't seen the episode. I wasn't even in the episode, baby, so I don't listen.
You're not in the episode. You've not seen the episode, yet you are talking about the episode. Mm-mm-mm. This is the thing. It's like you have so much to say, but you have not seen the episode and you were not there. Yeah, no. Yeah. And this is your state's representative.
To keep watching.
Okay.
And then my thing is like, listen, I don't know. We gonna pray. We gonna pray. We gonna pray. Look up your own stuff. You know what I'm saying? Look up your own stuff, because your stuff ain't where it need to be. So work.
Oh. What do you mean your stuff ain't where it meant to be? I can say that about you. I think we can all say that about you, maybe.
Worry about that. That's all I'm saying about it. That's why these girls, guess why I don't get along. But you know what? I'm a friend and I'm running for Congress. Okay, this 13.
Quad did not need Dr. G to stay on the show.
Yes, see what the comments are saying. This is who y'all people want to vote for. Now, why would Simone be jealous of Quad? You all love to throw that word around loosely. They grew up different, value different things in life, want different things. From what I've seen, Quad plays victim and Simone holds grudges. Absolutely. I just need Simone to stop yelling over those teeth. Oh my gosh. Nah, kind of team Dr. Simone. Quad has a victim mentality, don't accept a lot of accountability. I kind of see it. But her husband looks like he loves him some Miss Quad, and Simone hates it. We're not even going to get into Cecil today. Heavenly is describing herself and projecting. If Simone is a hater, then Heavenly and Jackie are the leading haters. Yes, I agree with that. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to pay for Carlos Patreon because I love these two. Oh, wow. Okay. The way Toya turned on Sweet Tea last season is the reason I gave the show up. She was the only one I liked. Yeah, I I get that. I like Sweet Tea, and Sweet Tea follows us. She's one of our subscribers. So shout out to Sweet Tea if you ever listen to this. I do think that I feel like Sweet Tea could have handled that last bit differently. So the bit where Toya was asking her, so do you want to be here? Because I think Toya was trying to figure out, like, if you want to be here, then I will ride for you and fight for you. But if you don't want to be here, then I'm not going to be out here fighting for you. And I wish that T had handled that particular conversation differently and just said, yeah, sure, I want to be here. That's it. Or something. But I think whatever was said, yeah. But yeah, I do agree. I like Sweet Tea, and it would have been nice if things turned out differently, but maybe the show just wasn't a good fit for her. Is Simone a hater, or did she decide she wasn't going to go along and kiss Quad's ass like the rest of them because they have to justify choosing Quad as she can keep so she can keep her job? That's the thing. I have never seen it for Quad. I think maybe initially when her and Mariah were cool, but I've just felt like she was so pretentious and performative. And so, yeah, I don't know, to be honest. I do not know where that stands. But yeah. Quad is a fraud. I remember Mariah used to call her the fraud. Quad the fraud. If I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so yes, I'm not surprised. Everything about her comes across as pretentious to me. I don't know what it is, but everything just feels pretentious to me. Honestly, yes, it's giving popcorn for Candy and Todd. Honestly, it is giving popcorn for Candy and Todd. D says they invited T on the show and mocked her for 2 seasons. Yeah, they really didn't like her, but I feel like they were trying to use T all along just to bring just to have beef with Cord. I think that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to use T to get to Cord. And then once they achieved what they wanted to achieve, then that was the end of it. They're like, oh, whatever, done. You know? Yeah. Okay. So I think there is an update on. Oh, there's definitely an update on Quad. On not on Quad. You see what I mean? Now that we've talked about Quad the fraud. Guys will be tried together instead of separately in the first case. Um yes, so there's an update about Kandi and Todd. Um but I haven't also talked to you guys about the rest. So Quad used Dr. Gian for the come up in my opinion. Yep, and did. And did. She did that, and once they were no longer, or she felt like she had exactly what she needed, she jumped ship. That's definitely what I think. Okay. Let me pull up. Also, Tamar has responded to Funky Dineva's exposure. So I'll see if I can pull that up as well in a second. But in the meantime, I want to do the Todd. I want to read the Todd situation to you. Kandi and Todd. Okay, let me share my screen. So, Mr. Todd, the same Todd that they said is about to come to us with the BS. You know? Todd is creating a scheme to come to us with the BS, okay? Todd is demanding primary custody of the kiddies. Todd is demanding primary custody of the kids with Kandi. The two children are currently in his care and residing with him in Georgia. Right? So, if you guys know, Kandi is on Broadway at the moment until I believe next year, maybe March or something like that. So, the kids are with him. Excuse me. He also admitted that he signed a prenup before getting married in 2014, but he suggested that he was pressured into signing it without his lawyers around. Wow. So he said that two children are presently in his care and residing in Georgia while Kandi handles out of state work obligation. Todd noted Candy's work obligation will continue to require her to be away from the children for at least the next several months as he pleaded for primary custody. Todd demands primary physical custody, joint legal custody, and potentially alimony. Ooh, this is crazy. And alimony if the prenuptial agreement is found unenforceable, not freaking alimony. It's like, why would you want to receive alimony, sir? The parties have been working cooperatively in an effort to resolve all issues, and Tucker remains committed to continuing those discussions in good faith. Todd said that in the hopefully unlikely event that they are unable to reach a custody deal, he would be seeking a primary physical custody, joint legal custody, and final decision making authority. He proposed Kandi having substantial time and meaningful access to the children, so that's good. And he praised Kandi as a mother. Todd wishes to make it clear that he recognizes Kandi as a loving and capable parent. He also admitted that he signed a prenup before getting it hitched on 2014, but suggested he was pressured into signing it without his lawyers present. Wow. This is very, very sad. I feel bad for Kandi because it's like it's one thing to then do a prenuptial agreement, and then it's another thing to then find out that he's then trying to argue that the prenuptial agreement should not hold. So Todd's lawyer said the agreement was presented to Todd without having counsel, even though Candy's then counsel had communicated previously with Todd's team regarding a potential prenuptial agreement. Despite that knowledge, Candy's counsel presented the final agreement to Todd for signature immediately before the wedding ceremony without any notice to or consultation with Todd's team, who has been significantly engaged in the negotiation process. These circumstances raise substantial questions concerning the enforceability of said document. Nevertheless, Todd remains committed to working in good faith to resolve this matter amicably and privately to the extent possible. Todd's counterclaim also demanded a division of all marital assets, both real and personal, tangible and intangible, between the parties. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Do you guys think that Todd should be getting alimony? Do you think Todd should also get support? Dee said, why is it crazy? He's the primary caregiver and she's the breadwinner. If he were a woman, no one would have a problem. The reason I have a problem with that is, and this is why I think it's crazy, because you have a prenuptial agreement. You signed a prenuptial agreement. Nobody forced you to sign it. I guess he's now trying to argue, due to the timing in which he signed it, as to whether or not that would be enforced. I personally just don't like situations where people have prenups and then end up contesting the prenup, because it's just like you signed it at the time. Now you want to contest it. Unless there's something like, of course, like an obvious sense of or duress or something like that. I guess he's trying to argue that. Although, from, if I'm not mistaken, from Real Housewives of Atlanta, it sounded like he had the prenup sent over to him before and he was just taking his time to sign it. So I don't know about that. But yeah, I think my issue is more like, why go through the stress of signing a prenup if you don't want the prenup to be enforceable? And I've seen so many situations where it's like there's arguments instead of like, okay, just we've signed this prenup, let's follow what the prenup says. Now it's like everybody is hurt or people are hurting because of the demise of the relationship. And they're just like, they want to go for the jugular, even if you already signed something. Think about Simon and Portia. They had already signed something, they had already had a prenuptial agreement. This is what happens to the house, this is what happens to all of these things. And then in the end, Simon did not want that to be upheld. And it's like, why wouldn't you want it to be upheld? That was something that you agreed to at the time. But now, because you're salty that things did not go the way it should or the way you'd have wanted it to go, now you want to make sure that, so that's how it feels anyway. But yeah. Let's see what the comments are saying. Someone says, it really pains me to admit Mama Joyce was right. Honestly, this is definitely given. This is why you should not date people that you're not equally yoked with. He wants child support since he probably can't get spousal support. Yep. He documented Daddy Daycare on YouTube with this in mind, a scheme. A scheme that's Todd set up to come to us with the BS. Imagine watching your father who didn't raise you go for primary custody of his rich kids. A scheme that Todd set up coming to Bravo spring, summer, and fall. We heard you talking to your lawyers, Todd. Stop lying. Mama seen it from the beginning. I never liked how he wanted his daughter to basically get it out of the mud, although Kandi was offering assistance. Then would say slick shit about Riley as well. Opportunists like Miss Natalie said. Oof, interesting. Bajan said Kandi should have had her mom sign a prenup. Honestly, Kandi should have her sign something because I don't like Simon, so I don't care about him. Honestly, I completely get that as well. Like, yeah. Okay, anyway, guys, I am so tired. I feel like I am going to sleep anytime from now if I continue to stay on this live. So better for me to just get off the live and go go to bed. But thank you so much for hanging with me. Thank you, Dee. Thank you, Bajan. Thank you, Super. Thank you, Lorraine. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you, Shanice. Thank you so much for joining in tonight. I look forward to, I guess, spending more time with you guys. Hopefully tomorrow. If anything interesting comes out tomorrow, you guys know I will come back for you. If nothing else comes up tomorrow, then I'll probably try to put out some maybe pre-recorded videos tomorrow. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe and pay attention to what comes out in the pipelines. For the replay gang, thank you so much for listening. Please hit that like button and tap that bell button so you know every time that I post or go live. Being equally yoked doesn't always mean money. I agree with you. I think sometimes it's just mentality as well, but I think most days nowadays it's definitely money related. It's money related. A lot of times nowadays. And I can understand that. I feel like money is very important for different things nowadays. And so I can understand that. So yeah, that is also something to add. On that note, guys, thank you so much for a wonderful evening. Good night, everybody. Good night. Replay gang, thanks for listening. Please hit that like button, everybody. Let's see what Super is saying. I think people are on Candy sides and they're not looking at the case objectively. Yes, I also agree with that. I do think that Candy is also not innocent. I agree with that. I think there are things that Candy um probably did. One of the things I think Candy did wrong in that marriage is letting Mama Joyce speak to Todd anyhow. Mama Joyce has always been able to talk to him anyhow, however she feels like speaking to him, and Candy did nothing concrete to stop that. So yeah, I will say that that was not good. Todd did say he wanted his daughter to earn her money, not just handed to her. Riley on her show spent stupid money with Kim's daughter on a bottle of drink. Make it make sense. Absolutely. So it sounds like somebody is definitely raising some spoiled kids and somebody is trying to raise a different type of kid. So I will say that. Okay, guys, on that note, love you all. Have a good evening.